You have arrived in the land of after. After the awakening. After the dissolution. But now you find yourself in a new territory, a vast, silent fog where all the road signs are blank. What do you do when you don't know what's next? If you are feeling adrift in a sea of peaceful uncertainty, know that this is not a sign you are lost. It is a sign you are finally free from the old maps. Subscribe to the Hidden Voice, and let us, together, learn to navigate by a new light, the light of the present moment. Part 1. The pain of the drift. Let's name the feeling. It is the feeling of being adrift. You are on a calm ocean. The violent storms of your past have subsided. The frantic rowing toward a distant shore has ceased. But now, you find yourself in a new kind of predicament. There is no wind. There is no current. The old coastline of your past life has vanished beyond the horizon, and there is no new land in sight. There is just you, your small boat, and a vast, silent, and unervingly placid sea. And in this great stillness, your mind, the part of you that is a master planner, a brilliant strategist, begins to panic. Its entire function is to know what's next. To set goals, to make plans, to chart a course. And for the first time, it has no data to work with. It has no destination to input into its GPS. And so, it spins. A low-grade anxiety begins to hum beneath the surface of the piece. What should I be doing? Where am I supposed to go? This can't be it. I must be missing something. People in your life, well-meaning and still operating on the old maps, ask you questions that feel like small paper cuts to your soul. So, what are your plans for the next 5 years? What's your next big project? And you have no answer. The silence that feels so spacious to you sounds like failure to them. And their confusion begins to fuel your own doubt. You feel a pressure, both internal and external, to figure it out. To come up with a new purpose, a new identity, a new reason for being. You might even try to force it. You sit down with a journal and try to brainstorm a new life plan, but the words feel hollow. You try to reignite an old passion, but the spark isn't there. You are trying to chart a course on a sea that has no coordinates. This is the deep, existential pain of the drift. It is not the sharp pain of trauma, but the dull, disorienting ache of purposelessness. It's the feeling of being a tool that has been put down after a lifetime of use, now sitting on a workbench in the quiet. It's the feeling that your life's momentum has stalled, that you are floating in a strange and timeless limbo, waiting for a sign, a map, a gust of wind that never seems to come. This feeling is not your enemy. It is your guide. It is the very doorway to the next stage of your evolution. Part 2. The Sacred Corridor. Let us give this strange, in-between space a new name. It is not a void. It is not a waiting room. It is the Sacred Corridor. A corridor is a transitional space. It is not a place where you are meant to live. Its sole purpose is to connect one room to another. You have just walked out of the room of your old self, the person you used to be, defined by your history, your ambitions, and your wounds. The door has closed behind you. And now you find yourself in this long, quiet hallway. Ahead of you, somewhere in the mist, is the door to the next room, the room of your future self, your next expression of being. But here's the crucial part. From inside the corridor, you cannot see the new door yet. You don't know what it looks like, how far away it is, or what lies behind it. Your mind, your ego, hates the corridor. It is a place of uncertainty, a place where it has no control. It wants to run, to smash down walls, to pick a door, any door, just to be out of the discomfort of the transition. The mind believes the corridor is a problem to be solved. But your soul understands the truth. The corridor is not a problem. It is the process. It is a sacred, necessary, and exquisitely designed space of integration. You have just left a room where you lived for decades. You are still covered in the dust of that old life. You are still vibrating with its energy. If you were to rush immediately into the next room, you would carry all of that old energy with you. You would simply recreate the old room in a new setting. The sacred corridor is a space of cleansing. It is an energetic airlock. Its quietness, its emptiness, its lack of distraction, are all designed to help you shed the residue of your past. It is where you learn to walk without the weight of your old identity. It is where you learn to be comfortable with the sound of your own footsteps in the silence. Your task here is not to find the next door. Your task is to become a master of walking the corridor. To learn its lessons. The lesson of patience. The lesson of trusting the journey without needing to see the destination. The lesson of finding your security not in the room you are heading toward, but in the ground beneath your feet, right here, right now. This spiritual limbo is not a sign you are stuck. It is a sign you are in transit. And the more gracefully you can walk this hallway, the more fully you will be prepared for the magnificent new room when its door finally, and effortlessly, appears before you. Part 3. Mapping the drift. To navigate this corridor, you must first become intimate with its specific quality within you. This feeling of being lost or adrift is not just a mental concept. It's a physical, energetic state. To make peace with it, we must first be willing to feel it, without judgment and without the need to immediately fix it. So, for a moment, let's map the drift inside your own body. Find your comfortable, quiet space. Take a breath that signals to your nervous system that you are safe, that you are just here to observe. Now, I want you to call up that feeling of not knowing what's next. The feeling of uncertainty. The sense of being directionless. And as the feeling arises, become a dispassionate scientist of your own inner world. Where does it manifest? Let's begin with your feet. Bring your full awareness to the soles of your feet. Do they feel firmly planted on the ground? Rooted? Or do they feel light? Disconnected? Is there a subtle sensation of floating, as if you're not quite making contact with the earth? This is the signature of the drift, a loss of your old grounding in a future goal. You are untethered. Now, bring your awareness to your center of gravity, in your gut and your hips. Does this area feel solid, stable, and powerful? Or does it feel diffuse, watery? Is there a sensation of swaying, like being on the deck of a boat on a calm sea? This is the feeling of having no forward momentum, no push, to drive you in a specific direction. You are simply bobbing in the great ocean of potential. Let your awareness travel up to your head. And notice the quality of the energy here. Is there a frantic, focused energy behind your eyes, trying to peer into the fog to see the path? Or is there a strange sense of vertigo, a dizziness that comes from the absence of a focal point? This is the mind in limbo. A mind trained to be a problem solver, now faced with a situation that is not a problem, but a state of being. The spinning you feel is the whirring of an engine that has been disconnected from the wheels. Finally, feel the overall energetic state of your being. Does it feel sharp and linear, like an arrow shot toward a target? Or does it feel circular, hazy, like a cloud of mist, with no defined edges and no clear direction? This collection of sensations, the ungrounded feet, the watery center, the dizzying mind, the misty, edgeless energy, this is the feeling of being in the sacred corridor. For your entire life, you have interpreted this state as wrong. You have called it being lost, being stuck, being unmotivated. And that judgment is what has caused the pain. The state itself is neutral. It is simply a state of nonlinear being. But what if you could rename it? What if, instead of lost, you called it exploring? Instead of stuck, you called it gestating? Instead of unmotivated, you called it listening? Just for now, allow these sensations to be here without labeling them as a problem. Feel the lightness in your feet as freedom from a predetermined path. Feel the watery quality in your gut as a surrender to the flow. Feel the dizziness as the exhilarating disorientation of true, radical freedom. You are not lost. You are simply off the map. And for the first time, you are learning to navigate by the stars instead. Part 4. The lineage of wisdom. This state of being that feels so foreign and frightening to your conditioned mind is, in fact, the state that the great sages and masters of wisdom have praised as the highest form of living. You have accidentally stumbled into the state that they spent their entire lives trying to cultivate. You are not in a spiritual no man's land, you are in the heartland of the Tao. In ancient China, the philosopher Lao Tzu wrote the Tao Te Ching, a slim volume of poetry that has become one of the world's most profound texts on the art of living. The entire book is a guide to navigating the spiritual limbo, a love song to the wisdom of not knowing. The central concept is Wu Wei. Wu Wei is often translated as non-action or effortless action. But this doesn't mean sitting and doing nothing at all. It means ceasing to act from a place of frantic, egoic, forceful will. It means learning to act in harmony with the natural flow of life, the Tao. It is the art of getting out of your own way and allowing a greater intelligence to act through you. Lao Tzu wrote, "The Tao does nothing, yet nothing is left undone." This is the secret of the corridor. The part of you that is panicking, that feels it must do something, is your ego. It believes it is the sole doer, the one responsible for making everything happen. The Taoist sage understands that this is an illusion. The real work of the universe, the growing of trees, the turning of planets, the beating of your own heart, happens effortlessly, without the intervention of the anxious ego. The state of limbo is a divine invitation to practice Wu Wei. The universe has temporarily removed all of your ego's favorite destinations so that you can finally stop trying to steer the boat and realize that the boat is part of a river, and the river knows exactly where it is going. Your lack of a goal is a gift. It forces you to stop staring at the horizon and to finally pay attention to the boat itself, to the water, to the feeling of the current. It moves your focus from the future destination to the present reality. This is the essence of Taoist wisdom. It is the wisdom of water, which is soft and yielding, yet overcomes all that is hard and rigid. It is the wisdom of the empty space in a bowl, which is what makes the bowl useful. It is the wisdom of the uncarved block, full of infinite potential. You have been a meticulously carved statue your whole life, defined and limited by your shape. The spiritual limbo is the process of returning to the state of the uncarved block. You feel directionless because you are no longer limited to being just a statue. You have become pure potential again. So when your mind screams that you are doing nothing, you can gently reply with the wisdom of the sages. I am practicing Wu Wei. I am aligning with the Tao. I am learning to do nothing, so that nothing is left undone. You are not wasting your life. You are finally learning to live in harmony with it. Part 5. The Parable of the Traveler in the Fog. To understand how to operate in this new territory, where long-term plans are useless, let us tell ourselves a story. The story of a traveler on a mountain path. Imagine a seasoned traveler who has been hiking for many days. He is an expert navigator. He has a detailed map, a reliable compass, and a clear destination in mind, a mountain peak he has been striving to reach. He prides himself on his speed, his efficiency, and his ability to read the terrain. One afternoon, as he is ascending a high ridge, a thick, dense fog rolls in, swiftly and without warning. Within minutes, his visibility is reduced to almost zero. He can see the ground right at his feet, and perhaps one single step in front of him, but nothing more. The majestic peak, the distant landmarks, the path ahead, all have vanished. The traveler's first reaction is the reaction of the ego. It is frustration, laced with fear. His mind, the expert navigator, goes into overdrive. He pulls out his map, but the map is useless. He cannot match it to a landscape he cannot see. He looks at his compass, but knowing which way is north doesn't help if he can't see the cliffs to his left or the ravine to his right. His mind begins to race. I should have been faster. I should have seen this coming. I'm losing time. I'm failing my mission. The temptation is to do what he has always done, to push forward, to guess the path and to march blindly into the white abyss, relying on his old momentum. But a deeper wisdom in him, the wisdom of the mountain itself, knows that this is the most dangerous thing he could do. To run in a fog is to guarantee a fall. So he is forced to do something that goes against every fiber of his ambitious nature. He stops. He takes a breath. He accepts the reality of the fog. He accepts that his old way of navigating is now obsolete. And he realizes he has only one option for a safe passage. He must give up his obsession with a destination, and he must place his entire, undivided attention on the single step he can see. His whole world, once a grand vista of peaks and valleys, now shrinks to a 1-meter circle of reality. His new spiritual practice becomes the art of the next single step. He shifts his attention from his eyes to his feet. He feels the texture of the ground with a presence he has never had before. Is it solid rock? Is it loose gravel? Is it soft moss? He takes one slow, deliberate, fully conscious step. He feels his foot land securely. He shifts his weight. And only then does he begin to even think about the next step. His journey is no longer measured in miles, but in moments. His success is no longer defined by reaching the peak, but by the quality of his presence in each single, humble step. And in this slow, meditative process, he discovers a new kind of intimacy with the mountain. He notices the tiny flowers growing in the cracks of the rock, the scent of the damp earth, the sound of his own breathing in the great silence of the fog. He is more connected to the path than he ever was when he could see it in its entirety. He has learned to trust the step instead of the map. You are the traveler. The fog is your spiritual limbo. The old destination of your ego has vanished. Your old maps of ambition and planning are now useless. And your only path forward is to stop, to breathe, and to place all of your faith, all of your trust, and all of your presence into the single sacred step that is right in front of you now. Part 6. The vow of the next right step. Does this story of the traveler in the fog resonate with your own sense of being lost in a great, white uncertainty? Do you feel that deep need to surrender your old maps? If this parable illuminates your path, I invite you to make this space your base camp. Subscribe to The Hidden Voice. This is a community for travelers who are learning to navigate by a new, inner light, supporting each other one single, conscious step at a time. And now, we must formalize this new way of navigating. We must make a conscious choice to trade the anxiety of the unknown future for the peace of the known present. This requires a new vow. Not a vow to reach a destination, but a vow to honor the journey, one step at a time. This is a profound act of rebellion against a world that demands 5-year plans and clearly defined goals. It is an act of supreme trust in a deeper intelligence. Find your center. Feel your own feet on the ground, the one piece of reality you can always be certain of. And from this grounded place, let us make this declaration to ourselves and to the universe. I, standing here in the sacred fog of the unknown, now release the need to see the entire path. I release the need to know the destination. I release the burden of having to have it all figured out. I accept that my old maps are no longer valid for this new territory. I thank them for their past service, and I now let them go. My allegiance is no longer to a future goal, but to the quality of my presence in this present moment. Now, let's turn this into your new navigating principle. From this day forward, I will stop asking, what is the purpose of my life? And I will start asking, what is the next right step? The right step is not the one that leads to the most success or the most praise. The right step is the one that feels the most peaceful, the most aligned, the most gently expansive in my own body. It is the step that feels most like me. I vow to trust the wisdom of the single step. If the next right step is to make a cup of tea, I will make it as if it is the most important act in the universe. If the next right step is to rest, I will honor it as a sacred duty. If the next right step is to make a phone call I have been dreading, I will do it with my full, present attention. Take a deep breath. Feel the immense liberation in this. You are relieving yourself of the impossible burden of predicting the future. You are giving yourself permission to live in the only time that actually exists, right now. The anxiety of the limbo comes from standing still while your mind is trying to run 1,000 miles ahead. The peace is found by bringing your mind back, gently, lovingly, to stand with you, right here, in this 1-meter circle of reality. The fog may not have lifted, but you are no longer afraid of it. because you have found the only guide you will ever need, the feeling of the solid ground beneath your feet, in this one perfect next right step. Part 7. The purpose of no purpose. You have committed to walking in the fog, to trusting the next right step. To strengthen this trust, we must understand the sacred purpose of this phase on a deeper level. The mind, your ego, sees this limbo as a problem. It believes that a lack of clear purpose is a state of failure. But the soul understands a profound truth. The purpose of this phase is to have no purpose. For your entire life you have been defined by, and driven by, purpose. The purpose to get a good grade. The purpose to build a career. The purpose to find a partner. The purpose to heal yourself. The purpose to have an awakening. Your identity has been completely fused with your forward-moving agenda. You have only known yourself as a becomer, someone on their way to becoming something else. Happier, more successful, more enlightened. This constant state of becoming is a form of tension. It is a subtle rejection of the present moment in favor of a future one. It is a prison of endless striving. The spiritual limbo is a divine intervention. It is a grace. The universe has lovingly and deliberately removed your sense of purpose so that you can finally, for the first time, learn who you are when you are not trying to become anything. It is forcing you to discover your identity in being, not in doing or becoming. The absence of a grand, external purpose is the very thing that compels you to find your center of gravity within. When there is no distant mountain peak to strive for, you are forced to find the divinity in the ground beneath your own feet. When there is no external map to follow, you are forced to learn to read the subtle compass of your own heart. This is a profound rest. It is a vacation for the soul from the exhausting, lifelong job of self-improvement. It is the universe telling you, you can stop now. You are enough, right here, right now. You don't need to achieve one more thing to be worthy. You don't need to have a grand purpose to be valuable. Your simple, conscious, breathing existence is your purpose for now. And it is more than enough. The anxiety you feel is the withdrawal symptom of an addiction. You have been addicted to purpose, addicted to striving, addicted to the dopamine hit of progress. And now, your dealer has left town. And you are left with the raw, unfamiliar, and terrifyingly peaceful reality of the now. The purpose of the limbo is to heal you of your addiction to purpose itself. So that when a new purpose does eventually arise, it will not be a frantic, egoic striving to fix a sense of inner lack. It will be a calm, joyful, and effortless overflowing of the wholeness you have discovered in the stillness. You are learning to be, so that what you do in the future comes from a place of profound peace, not a place of profound need. Part 8. Navigating the fog. Trusting the fog is a moment-to-moment practice. It requires tools that can help you stay present and listen for the subtle guidance that is always available when you quiet the panic of the mind. These are the rituals of the traveler in the fog. The first ritual, the next right question. When you are in the limbo, your mind asks anxious, unwearable questions like, what is the purpose of my life? Or what should I do for the next 10 years? These questions are too big. They create paralysis. This ritual is about replacing those big questions with a small, gentle, and answerable one. Throughout your day, instead of asking what's the grand plan, you will pause, take a breath, and ask your inner wisdom this one question: what is the next, single, most loving or peaceful action I can take? That's it. You are not asking for a roadmap. You are asking for a single footstep. The answer will not be a booming voice from the heavens. It will be a quiet, intuitive nudge. It might be, the most loving action right now is to stretch my body. Or, the most peaceful action is to make a cup of tea. Or, the most loving action is to send a text to a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Your practice is to honor this small answer. Do the thing. By consistently asking for, and acting upon, the next right step, you build a profound relationship of trust with your own intuition. You are proving to yourself that even without a map, you are always guided. And you will be stand to look back in a month and see how these tiny, peaceful steps have led you through the fog with an elegance your striving mind could never have achieved. The second ritual, releasing the map. This is a powerful, symbolic act of surrender. It is a ritual to be performed whenever you feel the anxiety of not knowing becoming intense. Find a quiet place. Sit down, close your eyes, and in your mind's eye, visualize the old map of your life. See it clearly. See all the goals you had written on it, the timelines, the expectations. See the past you thought you soul beyond. Now, in your imagination, all this map in your hands. Feel its weight. Feel the burden of all those expectations. And then, with a feeling of deep gratitude, thank the map. Thank you for getting me this far. Thank you for the structure you provided. Your service is now complete. And then, let it go. Visualize yourself releasing it to the wind, washing it flutter away into the fog. Or see yourself placing it gently on a river and washing it float away. Or see yourself lighting it with a match and washing it turn into a sand smoke. As you release it, say to yourself, I release the need to know the way. I am willing to be guided. This is not a one-time ritual. You may have to do it many times. Every time the mind starts panicking and trying to pull out the old map, you can perform this ritual again, gently reminding yourself that you are learning to navigate in a new way. The third ritual, the altar of the unknown. The mind fears empty space. We must train it to see the unknown not as a threat, but as a sacred space of possibility. This ritual creates a physical anchor for that new belief. Find a small surface in your home, a corner of a bookshelf, a spot on your nightstand, a small table, and clear it completely. Your ritual is to keep this one space empty. This is your altar to the unknown. This empty space represents your future. It represents what is not yet known. It represents the potential that can only arise in emptiness. Once a day, your practice is to simply pause in front of this altar. Look at the empty space. And instead of feeling the anxiety of nothing is there, you will consciously cultivate a feeling of reverence and curiosity. You can even place your hands over it and say, I honor this sacred emptiness. I am open to the miracle that is gestating here. I trust what is being born in the silence. You are transforming the void from a source of fear into a source of fight. By creating a physical representation of the unknown and treating it with honor, you are teaching your entire being to stop fearing the fog and to start seeing it as a holy, generative, and trustworthy space. Part 9. The Sacred Winter. You are learning the rituals of the fog walker. You are trusting the next right step. To fully surrender to this process, it is helpful to see that this phase of your life is not a strange anomaly, but a reflection of the deepest wisdom of nature itself. You are not stuck in a personal limbo. You are participating in a cosmic, natural, and necessary cycle. You are in your sacred winter. Think of the life of a great deciduous tree. In spring, it has a clear purpose, to bud, to sprout, to unfurl its leaves. In summer, its purpose is to grow, to reach for the sun, to be in its full, glorious expression. In autumn, its purpose is to release, to let go of what is no longer needed, a beautiful surrender. And then comes winter. From the outside, the tree in winter looks dead. It is barren, still, and unproductive. Its forward momentum has completely ceased. It is not doing anything. If you judge the tree by the standards of summer, you would call it a failure. But we know the truth. The winter is not an end. It is a vital, non-negotiable phase of the cycle. It is a period of deep, inward gathering. The tree has pulled all of its life force down into its roots, into the darkness of the earth. It is a time of profound rest, of energy conservation, of silent, invisible integration. The tree does not know the exact shape of the leaves it will produce in the spring. It does not have a 5-year plan for its future branches. It simply trusts the process of winter. It surrenders to the stillness, knowing that this quiet gestation is the very thing that makes the next spring possible. You are that tree. You have been through your spring of new awakening, your summer of expression, your autumn of letting go of the old self. And now, you have entered your sacred winter. This spiritual limbo, this feeling of being dormant and directionless, is your soul pulling its energy inward. It is gathering its resources, integrating the lessons of the past seasons, and silently preparing for the next great cycle of growth. To try and force yourself to bloom in the middle of your winter is to violate the sacred laws of your own nature. It will only lead to exhaustion and frustration. The anxiety you feel is your summer mind judging your winter soul. Your mind, which loves growth, action, and expression,
looks at his dormancy and panics, believing the life force is gone forever. But your soul knows better. It knows that this fallow period is not empty, it is a time of deep, invisible nourishment. So when you feel the pressure to figure it out, you can gently remind yourself, I am in my winter. And the only work of winter is to rest, to trust, and to draw my energy deep into my roots. You are not lost. You are honoring the season you are in. And by honoring your winter, you are guaranteeing the magnificent and unpredictable beauty of your next spring. Part 10. The ground is the Goa land, so we arrive here, at the very center of the fog. We stand in the heart of the sacred winter. We have given it a name. We have learned the rituals to honor it. And now, we are ready for the final, liberating realization that transforms the entire experience from a journey of anxiety into one of profound peace. All your life, your sense of safety and well-being has been tied to knowing the destination. To seeing the path ahead. You have believed, on a fundamental level, that safety is out there at the mountain peak, on the distant shore, at the end of the corridor. And therefore, the absence of a clear path has felt like the absence of safety. The story of the traveler in the fog holds the key. His anxiety came from his obsession with the peak he could no longer see. His peace arrived when he shifted his attention to the one thing he could be certain of, the ground directly beneath his feet. And here is the ultimate epiphany. The one that dissolves the fog, not by clearing it away, but by making it irrelevant. The goal was never the destination. The goal was always the ground. The security you have been seeking in a future outcome has been under your feet this entire time. The profound, unsackable peace that you thought was waiting for you at the end of the path is actually the very substance of the path itself. The purpose of the spiritual limbo is to destroy your belief that safety is in the future. It is a divine training, designed to force you to find your security in the only place it has ever truly existed, in the simple, solid, ever-present reality of the now. In your own being. Feel this now. Shift your attention from the story in your head, the story of being lost and adrift, and bring all of your awareness into your body. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel the breath moving in your chest. Feel the aliveness in your own hands. This is real. This is safe. This is home. You are not the traveler lost in the fog. You are the mountain upon which the traveler walks. You are not the boat adrift on the sea. You are the vast ocean itself. The anxiety of the limbo is the illusion of the small self, believing it is lost. The peace is the truth of the great self, which knows it can never be lost, because it is the very ground of all existence. When you truly get this in your bones, the need to know what's next vanishes. Why would you need to see the path ahead when you know, with absolute certainty, that you are, and always will be, standing on solid ground? The fog of not knowing may remain for a while. But it ceases to be frightening. It becomes a beautiful, mysterious mist. You can now walk through it with a slow, confident, and joyful pace. You are free. Not because you have found the way, but because you have realized you are the way. You are the path. You are the ground. You are home, in every single step. This feeling of being safely, perfectly grounded in the here and now is your ultimate refuge. If this guide has helped you to find your footing in the fog, then help us light the path for other travelers. Subscribe to The Hidden Voice. Like and share this journey. Each interaction helps to build a community of presence, reminding people that peace isn't at the end of the road, but under their own 2 feet. Thank you for your courage to walk without a map. Now go, and enjoy the profound peace of your next, single, sacred step.